Not even a blend. I'm going more towards the asshole side. Sorry to say. Sexist? I don't know. Maybe. With that being the most probably political thing that I've said so far, if I'm coming off as nonchalant, like I don't care, probably because I don't. What's up, guys? Just kidding. But what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a little different. It's more of a unique video. I really just came up with it on the spot. I was just trying to give you guys some different type of content. But today we're going to be going over my list of 25 things for 2025 I am not afraid to admit at the age 25. Now, if that gets any more redundant, I'm going to have to cut off the video right here. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, before we jump into the list, parental advice, I do say a few specialty words within this conversation. So if you don't want your kids to hear things like that, no curse words, please cut off the video now. But let's get to number one. First things first, my first thing on my list of 25 for 25 is I started martial arts because I was scared. So I've been doing martial arts at this point, I would say 14 years plus, learning 6 different styles or more, earning 2 black belts at this point. And originally when I started Taekwondo, or not even Taekwondo, I actually started karate first. When I originally started martial arts, it was something that my parents threw me in just because my dad did Kung Fu and just wanted me to get into martial arts. And so he pushed my mom. But even after that, right around middle school, I was just getting bullied at around that time, and I stopped doing martial arts and we moved, and I wanted to go back. I wanted to get involved with martial arts again, just to again build that confidence, just in case, again, bullies, if we need to handle a situation. So that was the reason I started, and it wasn't the best reason, but it was a reason nevertheless. And since then, I have matured, developed my ability to learn and understand why martial arts is important, and kind of go from there. But moving on. Second thing on my list. I'm obsessed with being the best version of myself. So I'm obsessed with anything that's self-improvement, and mental, physical, whatever it may be, pushing myself. I really love to do things like that. I love, doing competitions. I like being in a competitive atmosphere. It's slowed down since martial arts, or at least becoming an instructor, but now I'm finding it back when it comes to all these, races and sports that I'm learning and getting hold of. So I'm really excited about that. I get to actually be in my competitive nature again. 3, I prefer efficiency over anything. And that means, doing tasks, doing, little things, and most importantly, conversations. I know that's a good or bad thing depending on who I'm talking to, but in my head, I'm thinking of like 5 million things, and to spend a conversation about something that's unimportant or just something that's not relevant to me or something that I just don't feel like it's the best use of my time right now, I'm probably not going to entertain it, depending on who it is. Let's say if it's, a friend, I'm going to tell them right away, this is the most useless conversation I've ever heard in my life. Like, it's not that important to me, and it's not important to get to where we want to be, which is getting our goals. So if that's the case, I'm not entertaining it. We can spend our time doing something better. Now, if it's, let's say, a girl, and I'm trying to court this girl. Is that a word? Is that a phrase we still use? Courting? I'm just trying to get to know her and talk to her. Yes, I might let that individual talk a little bit more, let them vent a little bit more. If I'm talking to someone like my sister or friend and I'm there for an emotional thing, which is rare, I might let them talk for a little bit before I start to get solution-oriented again. I'm not the emotional person you go to get your emotions out. I tell my friends that, they know it. I'm just not that person. There's so many other people better than me. I'm not that person. So, efficiency over most things. I like to use my time wisely. Number 4, I am not meant for corporate jobs. And it can be said differently, meaning I knew entrepreneurship was gonna be my route for the longest period of time, since like middle of high school. And yes, working jobs is something important, and it's something you should probably develop to build a resume. I never saw myself as that because my thought process is I I have that creative mindset of I know what to do, I know what I want to do, and I'm going to push towards that. So even if I'm working there, I'm thinking about what I want to do in my own individual situation. So call it laziness, call it determination, call it whatever you may. It's me. It's what it is. But I'm working to kind of find a balance between those two, if possible. 5, my confidence is not universal. So I'm learning this more and more as I grow up. So obviously I've got some success in other areas of my life, some not success in different areas of my life. And so I'm realizing that there's some areas or some places where I feel the most confident, like the gym or martial arts or anytime I'm teaching, things that involve me to be in a leadership role, I feel great about. But also those are places that I have the most experience and community in as of right now. And so anytime I step out of those zones, my confidence immediately drops. Not to a super low level. I can still communicate, still talk to people, but my ability to be brave, to be courageous, to initiate conversations, to continue conversations, they start to slack a little bit. And so that's one thing I am working on right now is being able to spread out my quote unquote confidence or courage in all areas of my life if possible. Just so I can be, again, a best version of me, and I can extend that to other individuals when I'm communicating with them, when I'm interacting. It's a better experience for them as well. All right, number 6, a little hypocritical from what I just said, but I've been bad with time management lately, and that's, I'll come back to in a second, but because I realized that at a certain point and I'm starting to fix that, I have more time to learn different things and do different things. Right now, I'm currently learning guitar and piano at the same time. I know I shouldn't, but it's fun, and I'm just kind of rolling with the punches as of right now. But in terms of the time management, that's not to say my work stuff, but my nighttime routine got a little slackish because I do have a new roommate, and with that, I allow myself to, get pulled into, let's watch this show, let's stay up a little bit later, things of that matter. But eventually my brain starts to kick in and say, hey, we got stuff to do, we got to get this taken care of, let's knock this out, we can't be doing these things anymore. So now that I'm back into my natural rhythm, I have more time for more things. Reading, learning piano, learning guitar, recording videos like this again. YouTube, we're back. Yeah. So yeah. 7, I've conflicted working out with training for the past couple years. Meaning, I've not hit a plateau, but there was a point where I started to hit a plateau in martial arts in terms of, I don't know what I want to do with this, I don't know where I want to take it. There's not many people to train with in my place anymore since my friend left. It's, there wasn't a lot of things pulling me to still be there, and hence why I left to Miami to explore sales a little bit more, because I wanted to be in a realm with, I can have that competitive edge again. Now, with that goes to my working out, that goes with my martial arts training. I was just going to just burn energy off. However, I wasn't training. I wasn't working towards something. I didn't have that competitive edge like I just said. But now that I'm starting to do these races, starting to get involved and push myself in competition, now I find myself being back in that competitive spirit again, and now I'm training for real, meaning I have a goal in mind to which I want to obtain. So right now, I'm happy to say that I'm back in that mode. 8, I've struggled to find like-minded individuals lately, and these are individuals who like business, who like to work out, who like training, especially guys. Like, where were you guys at? Like, I need people to train with, I need people to work out with, I need people to run with, to do the hard stuff with. At most, I find like girls who are really pushing it, and you guys are killing it so far. I need more guys. I need more people to train with. I need more guy friends, if I can find any. So yeah, that's just one ask that I do ask of you guys. I need more guy friends. It's hard to find them. Yeah. Number 9, reading has helped my focus when it comes to girls and chasing tail. We are 25. It's the name of the game. It's just it is what it is. I'm a guy. I can't really say much more than that, but when it comes to reading, it does help me kind of narrow in my focus a little bit, kind of help me put some blinders on that eliminates that thought process or even just thinking about it as much. It just helps me get the things I need to do done, which I didn't think it does. But when I stopped reading, I did find a difference of my mindset and my focus being completely derailed from where it needs to be. And that can be just a lack of, focus skill. But right now, I feel like I'm great. I'm on track. And so I'm going to ride with the waves as much as possible. 10, I tend to overcompensate my personality at times, meaning that on one end, I can feel myself being, because I tend to be direct, I tend to be speak what's in my mind type individual, and I might come across as an asshole. On the other spectrum, because I know I might come across as an asshole, I try to pull that back and be more kind, more friendly, more nice, and people tend to take advantage of that. And so there are times where I'm stepping more into the nice and kind side right now, and I'm not getting the things that I want out of life, and it's dragging for me, and it's not something that I really want. So I'm trying to find that nice, not even a blend. I'm going more towards the asshole side. Sorry to say. I enjoy it better. It's more my personality. Not saying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be mean. Not trying to be degrading or anything like that. But I do want to be direct. I do want to be someone who speaks their mind, and I do want to be someone who's able to tell you the truth, no matter how it may hurt. I will try to phrase it better. I will say that. I will try to phrase things better so that it doesn't come off as asshole-ish, but I don't want to change my mindset or my approach to speaking with people just because of feelings, or I'm not coming off as nice or anything like that. Just it comes off unauthentic, and so I want to make sure I'm the best version of me and do the right thing by myself and other people. Yeah. 11, with that being said, I am a transactional friend and family member, meaning that I enjoy being with people who bring benefit to my life and I can bring benefit to theirs. It has to be a mutual situation. It can't just be one person benefiting and the other person's not benefiting. So for me, I do enjoy when someone's going after their goals and I can help them with that, but they can also help me with going after my goals. I enjoy going after my own things. I enjoy following my dreams. And if I'm with people who aren't doing that, I can't really consider them my friend. Or at least they're not pushing forward. I can't really consider them my friend, at least not in the long term. I know it's not going to last. So when people come up to me and, you want to hang out, you want to do this, something that's not directly correlated to what I'm looking to do or what they're looking to do, I'm not really interested. I know it sounds mean. This is the actual thing again. I know it sounds mean, but it's not what I want to do in my life. And it's not what I think that person should be doing. And I want to be truthful to them and let them understand, hey, I can't stand by and support your comfortness of not going for what you want. So no, I don't necessarily want to hang out and do nothing. Not really. 12, probably most controversial thing on this list so far in today's world. In my personal opinion, I'm not afraid to admit that a man, again, my personal opinion, for myself, not all men, but for myself, a man should be able to take care of his girl/woman, take care of them mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Am I missing one? I think that's it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. So with that being said, I know it is a big ask, and I'm happy to do that for not only my future wife, but also my future family as well. I'm happy to do that. Also, I know it's going to take a while. I know it's going to take a moment in time for me to get to that point where I'm able to do that. So in the meantime, I would just work, keep my head down, keep it pushing, keep going. Will I deny dates? Absolutely not. Will I still try to flirt? Well, not try. I probably do. Not knowing it, but I do flirt. Will I still flirt? Yes, I will. Will I still go on dates? Absolutely. I won't deny anything that is approached to me or welcomed into my life, but at the same time, I know, my current mindset, my current thought process, I'm not going to be at that level as of right now. And that's okay. It's fine. I'm not harping over it. 13. All right, here goes the asshole thing again. And a little, might sound conceited. Maybe. Who knows? That's fine. My most delusional thought is that I am better than most people in most things. Just leave that statement there. No, I'm kidding. What do I mean by that? I mean that in my head, I believe I am better than most people because I physically try to be better at all areas of my life. And I physically push towards it. I study it, I look at it, I sit back, I reflect on it. I physically try to be better than most people in the world. Because most people in the world, they are rude. They are, selfish. They are weak-minded. They are weak in general. They just don't have a purpose. These are things that most people have. And for me, I find it I don't know if I say competitive, but I like the ability to be better than individuals, and knowing that I am pushing towards that, essentially in my head, it makes me a better person for people in my life, for my family, for my friends, for my future family. You know, it makes me a better person overall and gives people a better experience of interacting with me. So in the end, and again, delusional, I'm thinking it's a better off deal for people I interact with. So yeah, I think I'm better than those people. And if not now, then soon. And I'm gonna keep pushing towards that till the day I die. It's like that. 14, with that last one being said, typically these kind of run together if you start to follow along. But 14, I am a try-hard. I do try hard. I push towards being the best at whatever I'm doing or best at whatever I'm accomplishing, and I try to do it to the best of my ability. I don't know why most people wouldn't. I don't know when that became a thing that people start to dial back on. At some point, I did believe that, you know, high school, you're try hard, it was a negative thing, but when I stepped out of that, I didn't care. I'm happy to be a try hard. It gets you to where you want to be in life and makes me happy because I get to succeed at things I want to succeed in. Without that, I'll be a loser. So, I'll be okay being try hard. I'm fine with that. 15 is changing my environment has always worked better for me. And I've done it twice so far. I moved to Miami and I moved out. Two things. They've always worked better for me, and they're continuing to work good for me to this day. So that might be something I continue to do in the future, but this also might be something that I picked up from my childhood. We moved at this point 17 times, possibly, maybe less. But each time it was always to something better. It was always moving to a different environment, a different place, a new city, a new group of friends. I was always had to be that new kid. I always had to figure out how to, you know, get friends, learn how to be social, even though I didn't want to talk to people, learn how to be mature, work on my own, be social, be not social, learn different skills that you wouldn't learn if you're just staying in one place. But also, as an adult, different experiences. You know, going to Miami taught me a lot about sales, taught me a lot about, okay, hey, this is how the world works outside of your neighborhood, outside of things that you think is the day-to-day norm. There are different people out there, different thought process, different way of life, different way to approach money, different way of business, a lot of different things that you can't learn from being in one place. So along with that, I get to have time to myself. I get to think. I get to not rely on other people, such as my family. And it allows me to step out and become my own man, my own person. So changing environment has always worked out best for me, and most likely I'll keep doing it in the future and hopefully expose my kids to it in a more positive way, obviously. I don't want them hopping around and not doing anything. Anyways, 16, dating is weird for me. Now, for this one, I had to kind of write things out a little bit. So with martial arts, it did teach me to, because it is more of an individual sport, which is why I appreciated it more. I did football, did track, did all these sports, but I appreciated martial arts because it was an individual sport. I didn't have to rely on other people, and guess I got that from my parents. But when it comes to dating, the same thing's it's starting to creep into that life now too as well, because I'm going through this build phase right now. I'm going through this suffer phase right now, and I tend to like that when I'm by myself. The more I have to look out for people and take care of people, it kind of dilutes my thought process because I have to worry about them while worrying about me. But also, I don't like people seeing that I'm suffering while I'm suffering. Meaning, this growing page is fine, but physically, emotionally, struggling, it's not something I want other people to see me at least not at this phase. It just shouldn't be, and I don't need them to be here for that. I like taking care of people. I like to see them happy and smile, and I know that's not going to be their life if they're involved with me at this very moment. So dating is weird for me. At the same time, I do like the company of others. I do like taking care, or the thought of taking care of someone's daughter and spoiling them, and that makes me happy. I enjoy being in relationships. I just know a relationship isn't a best deal for my partner right now, and also it doesn't really benefit me to the fullest extent. Not saying it doesn't benefit me at all, but to the fullest extent right now. Anyways, bouncing back. 17. With that being said, I don't know when wanting kids became kind of like a weird thing nowadays, because most people don't want kids nowadays. I'm saying most people. Some people don't want kids nowadays. I don't know why that's a weird thing, but for me, I want kids. Put it on the table right now. I do want kids. And my kids are definitely gonna do martial arts. It is what it is. And, that leads me kind of right into 18, which is I will most likely, my kids will do martial arts, that's fine, but I will most likely treat my daughters and my sons differently. I have different expectations for them, and this goes on not only to my children, but also my friends, my family. I do treat my sisters different than I treat my brothers. I do treat my mom more different than I treat my dad. I do treat my girlfriends more than different than I treat my guy friends. Like, there's different expectations with them. Sexist? I don't know, maybe. Either way, I'm okay with it. My kids will be great individuals to society, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing to me. As long as they're not, trashing the culture we already have right now, which is already going down the drain, I'm okay with that. They're going to be great human beings to the society we live in, and they're going to help improve it in the best way possible. So, is it negative? It's up to you to decide. Either way, my life is I'm fine with that decision. 19, with that being the most probably political thing that I've said so far, I hate politics. I honestly do. I really hate it. It's just, yeah. And I'm not going to go too far down that road right now, but I have my views on how I like to live life. If that falls into one bucket or the other, I don't care. It's just how I live my life. I don't decide I'm this type of person or this type of person, because at the end of the day, some of those things overlap. It's not that, like, I got other stuff to worry about than to figure out which bucket I'm in. I have my way of life I like to live, and I'm going about it that way. If you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. You're not my wife, you're not my kids, it's fine. It's all right. 20, this is a weird one. I'm accidentally nonchalant. So this one, I wrote it down like that, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that I don't come off, or I don't try to come off as like I don't care, or I don't, I'm not worried about this, I'm not stressed or anything like that. It's just, one, if I'm coming off as nonchalant, like I don't care, probably because I don't. And not in the sense that like it's not important to me, sometimes it is. Like sometimes it isn't important to me. But sometimes it's that I literally have 50 other things in my brain right now that's more important than this. And so whatever you're stressing about, whatever you're talking about right now may not be the best use of my brain cells, because I only have limited amount in there, just letting you know. But also, at the same time of that, here comes like a nerdy part of me, the ninja side. If I'm stressed out, if I'm, not relaxed and calm and being able to take as much into my environment as possible, I can't be on alert. I can't be aware of everything that's going on in my surroundings, and that's a dangerous mindset to be in, especially with the dangers we have in the world and just not being an aware individual. Like we have people in the world who aren't aware, and it's mind-boggling how they survive this long. I have no idea. But I do like to be aware. I do like to know about my surroundings. I do like to take care of my surroundings and know what's going on at all times. And I can't do that if I'm panicking or trying to, stress out as much as possible. So I try to breathe, keep myself calm, keep myself relaxed so I can take in everything. Not saying that things in my head aren't rolling, because they definitely are. Again, those 50 things I'm talking about, they are rolling at all times. And so I want to make sure I'm using my brain properly. It goes back to the efficiency thing. I can't stress about things that's not important. And if they're not important, I'm probably not going to care about it as much as you do. So, yeah, accidentally nonchalant. I don't mean to. It just comes off that way. All right. So, coming down to the last 5. 21. Fighting. So, I'm not afraid to fight, meaning like amateur professional fighting. I'm fine with fighting. I like sparring. I like fighting. It's cool for me. What I don't like, or what I do fear, is not even getting knocked out. That's fine. It's the thought of losing brain cells, and then my future self can't comprehend what's going on in life. That I can never have. I need to be coherent to the best of my ability. And getting knocked out time after time after time, getting hit in the face over and over and over, probably not the best. And at least in the case of someone's trying to actually, take you out, which they would do in pro fighting. So to that extent, no, it's not something I'd really want to do. Am I afraid of it? Absolutely not. I get in there, I do what I need to do. I mean, you can't fight, or you learn how to fight and not actually have sparring rounds in. It just doesn't make sense. You damn sure can't protect your family if you've never been punched in the face. I don't understand people say they're like can protect someone if they've never been hit in the face. That's like priority. Number one, rule number one is get hit. Is learn how to get hit. now that you're exposed to that, okay, you have some experience on how to actually adapt to the situation. So, anyways, tangent. I say that to say, I'm not afraid to fight. I am afraid of losing my brain cells so that I don't know who I am in the next couple of years. All right, 22. I can't hang out with people who spend their time complaining. What's Alyssa said? Complaining, overthinking. Shoot. Only talk about the past, ask stupid questions, and get comfortable too easy. Those aren't people I can hang out with, family included. Family is not separated from this list. My family know. If they're not about it, I'm not about it. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna force something that's not there. So those individuals, again, it's not a sufficiency thing. It's not going towards my goals type of thing. It's just not the best use of my time to be around those individuals. I need to control my environment, and that is not an environment I want to be in. Plus, with those individuals thinking about the things that they do, they have a negative approach to things. Their life isn't going as well as it is. I don't want that type of life, and if I don't want that life, I don't want to be around that life. This is what it is. So, can't be around those people. Simple, plain simple. All right, 23. Is there a part of me that doubts every step that I'm making so far and moving forward? How's it going, bro? Is there a part of me that doubts what I'm doing moving forward and every step that I take? Absolutely. I don't think there's any entrepreneur in the world that doesn't think that. And following their footsteps, I know there's some risk involved with this lifestyle. I know there's some hardship involved with this lifestyle, and I've accepted that. I've signed on the dotted line. I've put my thumbprint on it. I've fully committed to that lifestyle, and I understand the dangers and risks that comes with it, and I'm okay with that. I know if I failed with my hands. And at least at the end of the day, I can say I tried. And I can always go back to a regular day-to-day job, worst case scenario. But we're not there yet. We're not even close. I'm 25. We're just getting started. 24. I know where I'm not. I know where I'm not where I want to be because of promises that I've broken to myself. So obviously I know I could have been making more money. I could have been in different locations. I could have had more friends. Anything that I want out of life, I know I could have been closer. Not there, but closer to there. But I know I've probably lost on a couple opportunities because I've broken promises to myself. Little things like not going to bed on time, not eating right, not following up on commitments, not talking to that girl, not taking out the trash when I need to. Every single thing you do in life, like way you do one thing, is how most likely you're going to do everything else. And so breaking little promises like that tend to snowball, and they have multiple times throughout my life. I'm on track right now. I've been good so far. And they tend to snowball into large avalanches. And so at that point, you got to figure out, are you going to let the snowball continue to build, or are you going to let everything crash down so you can get back on track? And I've hit the point where I've definitely stayed on track, and I enjoy the track that I'm on, and I'm just going to write it out to the best of my ability and keep pushing with it. I don't enjoy breaking promises. I don't think anyone does, but am I going to lie and say it hasn't happened? Absolutely not. So, yeah, we're here, and we're going full steam ahead, and we're keeping every promise to ourselves so far, and it's been working out well, so I'm enjoying it. Last, 25. Last thing I admit to myself at 25 years old is that I didn't write this one down just because I wanted to think about it. I wanted to have an honest opinion of, like, if someone has to ask me my last thing on earth, what do I want to leave behind, or something that I have regret on, or something that I just need to change right now to fix forward, it can be honest and authentic. And as of right now, other than the confidence things that I'm working on in all realms, other than staying content, and not content, absolutely not content, keeping promises to myself, and little things like that, I would just say I don't regret anything I've done so far. Obviously it's part of my story, it's part of what I'm building. I had my failures, I had a lot of failures, still having them. I know I'm going to have more, but I know this is going to come out to be a great story. And that's really what I'm building right now. It's just, I'm building that story. And that's what I really love to do. Like, if you ask me a question, I want to build a story. I want to build a thick book of a lifetime of stories, accomplishments, fails, successes, something that makes it interesting. You know, when you read your fiction books, when you read, you know, these books about superheroes and villains and stuff like that, you know, you're able to get a good story out of it if there's some excitement with it. No one appreciates a hero who everything went well for them and everything just wrote off really well. You know, and also no one appreciates a hero who didn't do anything big. And so that's what I'm doing so far. That's why I don't regret anything I've done so far. That's why I don't regret going down this path, because I know my story at the end of my lifetime will be a great one. Whether I'm the only person who reads it or a million people read it, I don't care. I just know I'm going to be happy, not even happy, fulfilled, knowing that I did the best that I could and knowing the story that came out of it. So, no regrets. I try not to. All right, with that being said, I do appreciate you guys sticking this on with me for 25 of my 25 things I'm not afraid to admit at 25. If you have anything that you're not afraid to say, put it in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to know about your story and things that you're going through and the thoughts that's in your head. I need more people to hang out with. I need to find more people like-minded individuals. So tell me a list of yours. Tell me some of yours. I'm curious to know about it. I'm curious to learn about you, and you just find new friends. That's it. All right. Other than that, please subscribe to the channel, like the video if this is something that you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.